evening, everybody. It's Bernie here from Stampin' Up, and I have Rich. Oh, look, we've got people in the house already. Who have we got?
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Mum. Hello. Mum says she's back from her wanderings. Yes, good. Glad you're home safely. Hi, Leslie Ann. Hi, Anne. Nice to see you all here. So good to have you all here. And to everybody else that's watching on the replay, welcome, welcome. Well, it's Tuesday again. Where did the last week go? Crazy busy. Eh? We had a very, very busy weekend last weekend. What did we start with? I had a 6 a.m. class with Ruth from Artful Stamping, which was amazing. Let me show you what we did. We made these smoosh. That is a bit of a boo-boo on mine, but we made these smoosh. Is that the right way around? These smoosh technique cards, which was so much fun. And then I went straight from the class to, I had an appointment with one of the young ladies in our church. Hey, Monica.
Hello.
So we caught up together for that. And then we had our son and daughter-in-law for our monthly movie night on Saturday night. And then
we first had a dinner, roast dinner.
We had dinner, and then Sunday. Why did Sunday feel busy? Oh, yes, Sunday we went to church, and then we hosted a lunch. And then Rich fell asleep.
I needed my nap in the afternoon.
Rich fell asleep. Anyway, so yeah, that was a weekend. Here we are again on Tuesday. It's crazy. So tonight, I thought I would make this Mother's Day card with you, and it's using butterflies. We were talking about butterflies last week, and I thought, actually, you know what? Let's just carry on with the theme. I love butterflies. The inspiration for this card is from a lady by the name of Juliana, what is her last name? I don't know. But she's 17 Turtles is her handle name. So I got the inspiration from her. So the design is not mine. I cased it off her. But I'm using Stampin' Up product where she uses distress product. So it just goes to show when you do see products that are with distress, you can actually substitute our Stampin' Up products and still do beautiful cards. So without further ado, we should probably head over there, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So annual catalogue has gone live today for everybody. So that's very exciting news. Now, I said to Rich, it feels like my camera looks like it's further down or further away from my cards, but it's not because I've got some washi tape on the pole, so I know where I need to put it. So I don't know. But anyway, this is what we're going to be doing this evening. So we're going to be doing some stamping, some smooshing, some other stamping and some embossing. So heaps of fun. Let me show you, or actually no, I'll just talk you through the colors and I'll show you at the end what colors we are working with tonight. But it's all sort of in the greens and the browns. Not colors I work with a lot, I must admit. I'm more a pink and purple kind of girl. But yeah, I thought it would be good to give these colors a go. All right, let me get some cardstock. So let me just run through what you're going to need if you want to case this. You're going to need a basic white, thick basic white base for that. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of basic white as well. Just one that's slightly bigger for your frame. And I'll show you a little tip for that. And then the one that we're going to stamp. So you can do your measurements whatever you want them to be. You don't, just create your mats as you wish. Okay, so here's a glare on that. I am using my Stamparatus for this, and I am using some retired Butterfly Brilliance. But if you've got other butterflies that have this sort of vintage vibe, please use those. Okay, I'm just looking for my mark here. I know I made a mark. So what I did, let me talk you through what I did. I took a piece, there it is. I took a piece of copy paper and I arranged let me just move my pretty flowers out the way. They're pretty, but they're in the way. I arranged my butterflies in the pattern that I wanted them, stamped it on the copy paper, and then had a look to see if it actually was where I wanted it to be. And then when I was happy with that, I knew that was what I wanted to do. But I'm just looking, there, I think that's my mark there. I knew I'd marked it. Let's just check this. Okay. How is everybody this week? Are you all doing okay? I just want to check that that's right. Yep, that looks good. Okay. All right, so let me shimmy this into the camera. I like to put a stamp pad under there, and I'm going to start this off with some Lost Lagoon. Okay. So like I say, if you're not a green fan, you can go with, this actually would look beautiful with crumb cake and pecan pie and early espresso. That would work too. Just want to make sure this is all clean. Oh, there's some flowers. Okay, I'm just checking. This feels like something's not right. Hold the line. It needs to be. Can you just get me a, my thing is so full of, nope, hold on. Sorry, ladies. I know I've got it marked, but I can't find my mark. There are like gazillions of marks here. Okay, got it. So many marks on this one. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Okay. All right. So just give it a nice firm pressure. So I'm aiming for my little butterfly in the middle. Release. Not quite there, so I'm just going to go back. I do love my Stamparatus. And now why I loved using my Stamparatus for this is I'm just going to unhinge this by one, and I'm going to bring it down. And then hopefully if I've done it correct, I should have my butterflies stamped in the formation that they're in. Okay, let's have a look. Wind that out the way. Perfect. Let's have a look. Good, excellent. Fantastic. So we just move that up. So it was just one hinge click down, and that's my stamping done.
Do you need to clean those now?
I will clean them afterwards. Yep. Okay, now I'm just going to bring in a mat. And we're going to do a little bit of smooshing. So I've got my mat there, and I'm just going to put some Lost Lagoon just a little bit on my mat. And I'm just going to spray it with my spray bottle, and I like to use my fingers just to loosen up the ink a little bit. And I'm just going to do a dip and a dip and a dip. All right, and with that, I just want to quickly dry this. I like to dry in between. Okay, and I'm going to come in again. And last bit, I might just spray this a little bit more. Oh, my water bottle's coming to an end. I don't know if you know this tip. I'll just want to quickly dry this and then I'll show you. Couple of things with spray bottles, if you've got a nozzle, always have your little plastic thingy at the opposite end. So if your nozzle's here, have this little pipe thing on this side, so that when you tip it over, there's always water going in the nozzle. I know it might sound pretty logical for some people, but when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's really brilliant.
It's clever.
It is clever. I thought that was a really clever technique. Okay, so I'm just going to dry that a little bit more. Excellent. Okay, so we can set that to the side for now. That will form the base of our card. Now I'm just going to bring in some scrap white, and I want to work on my butterfly, that big butterfly. So for that big butterfly, I am using the same butterfly that we used last week, my beautiful butterflies. Only this time I'm going to stamp it in some soft sea foam. Let's make sure that's in the camera for you to see. Now, I don't have the die for this, so I will be fussy cutting this. Actually, I don't like that stamping. Let's do that again. Just want to make sure that I've got that. I'm actually wondering if it's still got some Versamark on it from last week. Let me just turn that at an angle. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to bring in some Coastal Cabana and this large sentiment, or the elements of text stamp. So let's just get that all up. Is it going to fit on this block? I think so, only just. And my Coastal Cabana. Now, I don't need this mat, but because I've got this silly break in my desk, I am going to use it just so that I don't get unequal stamping. And I'm going to position this text stamp over as much of the butterfly as I can. Okay, like that. Isn't that cool? All right, and now I'm just going to fussy cut this. It's not a tricky one to fussy cut, but like I said, I think it does come with the dies, so this would speed things up a lot if you have the die. So we've got our 3 grandies for the weekend. Any suggestions on things to do with them? It's going to be a wet weekend. Got rain coming. Thank you, Monica. Just going around the little antenna. Feels like this scissor is not actually as sharp. Here's my other one. I have a feeling, let's just try this. I have a feeling I have swapped my, that's better. I need to put a ribbon back on my,
or something on it.
Yeah, I've lost my label for my ribbon scissor, and I was cutting with my ribbon scissor and I could feel it. I was wondering why it didn't feel so smooth. So we're going to go 10-pin bowling with them. We normally take them for a game of 10-pin bowling. And I thought I might do some craft with my granddaughter. Thought we might actually do some jelly plate printing.
Ben's asking how old are they? They are 6 and 5 and
6, 5 and to almost 3.
6, 5 and
yeah,
3. Almost 3.
Almost 3. Yeah, our little one turns 3 on my birthday. We share a birthday. Okay, so I've got my butterfly. And I'm going to now emboss it through the new Damask Design embossing folder. I sort of want those leaves, those little designs to be on there. Now, this is not a 3D, so I'm just using my emboss top and bottom. I like to have a separate one to my dies so that it stays nice and clean without any indentation on it. And we're supposed to have rain again, which is going to certainly complicate things, eh, love?
Yeah, we would normally take them 10-pin anyway, and we'd normally go to the park, some lovely parks with kiddie swings and
merry-go-rounds
and kiddies' toys.
Yeah.
Jungle gyms and such, which they enjoy.
They do. Okay, I'm just going to bring that soft sea foam back, and I'm going to just drag it over the embossing now, just to highlight that embossing a little bit. Oh, can you see that's coming to life?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just want to gently edge it around my butterfly's wings. We could maybe take them to the library, see what's going on at the library. But if it's raining, it's a real pain. What's happening?
Ben says we need to move down to Ranfurly where it was dry and frosty.
Oh, I tell you, Anne, we often talk about whether we are not going to need to retire down to the South Island one day because, oh my gosh, living up in Tauranga is, yeah, it's
becoming mission impossible from a cost perspective.
It's ridiculously expensive here now. Okay, now this is going to become my mat. There are a couple of things you can do here, which is the one I'm going to show you, but of course you could put Lost Lagoon cardstock behind this. But what if you don't have Lost Lagoon cardstock? What if you are watching this and you are brand new to card making and you only have a limited budget? Then it's actually really easy to make your own cardstock. I'm just looking for my cloth. So I'm just going to make sure my blending brush is clean. Well, that I don't have too much ink. And I'm taking that same Lost Lagoon ink that I've just used for my stamping and a blending brush. And I'm creating my own border around the edge. So this is, you could also do this if you on a limited budget and you don't have cardstock of every single color. If you've got the ink and white cardstock, you can create your own border. So it's a lot easier. Let's just see if I've got enough of a border. That side, maybe just a bit more down here. Do you get snow down your end, Anne? I think I've seen photos where you've posted heavy frost. But then, did you see the flooding in Canterbury last week when we had all that rain? That was pretty intense. That was pretty intense. Okay, I'm just making sure that's nice and bent. Is that good? That's good. Okay, let's glue this one down. I filled up my glue gun on Saturday after class, so now I've got a full glue gun again. It just takes 2 bottles of glue, and then I'm good to go for several months. So has everybody seen the washi tape? Have you ever used their little fingerprints to make insects? No. That's a brilliant idea. We do a lot of crafting together, but no, I haven't. So maybe like little butterflies with the little... That's a brilliant idea. I love that. I think that's what we're going to do because it is Mother's Day coming up. That is a very cool idea. I like that. Thank you. Oh, these embellishments are running away again. Okay, I'm just going to put a little butterfly. I don't know why I bothered because he's actually getting stuff over him. Sorry, butterfly. After all that effort, he's going to disappear. All right, let's put some twine. I've got some old linen thread that I'm just going to create a circle. I just like to put some... Where is my sticky? I like to put some sticky in the middle and just straighten this linen thread with my fingernail. Let's do a circle of 8. Butterflies, ants in a row. Butterflies and dragonflies too. I love that. That is a very cool idea. I think we're going to do that. Definitely, because I've got a jelly print. You know, those jelly print thingies, and I thought we could maybe do some jelly prints with leaves. I thought that could be fun. Let's see how that works out, because I'm still mastering my jelly print. I like that one. I'll just tuck that down there. Okay, where's butterfly? Let's put... I don't... That's a good pick. Right, let's pop that on dimensional. Sorry, lovey. I very much like that idea. Yeah, I definitely think that will appeal to the older two. We could certainly try with Teddy, see if he'll be game.
Leslie Ann says her children are in their 30s and 40s and they still remember these.
That's cool. I like that. So do you just use Stampin' Up inks, or would you use just normal kids' paints? Because I'm just thinking just normal paint would do it. Okay. Now we just need to stamp our sentiment and put on his little antenna. And I'm going to use some pecan pie for that. I'm using some Secret Sea. I like Secret Sea. It's almost a black, but not a black. And I thought you are seriously the best from the textured notes, and I love the font. So I thought we'd do that because it doesn't... Whoops, that's a bit over inked, Bernie. Let's see how we go with that. Let's try that. Yeah, it's haloed a bit there, but I'm sure we'll be fine.
Leslie Ann says when they did it 30, 40 years ago, Stampin' Up didn't exist, so they just used what was available.
Just
food
normal
colouring and stuff like that.
Oh, yep. Yep.
Handprints to make a butterfly, says Anne.
Also handprints, yes. I'm seeing a theme. I like it. I like it very much.
Yeah, we still give them Play-Doh, Mum. We still have Play-Doh.
Yeah, we are when our grandchildren come to us, we detox them from their devices. When they visit us, we don't do devices. We do old school. We build puzzles. We
read books.
We read old school books. We draw. We paint. Yeah. Freya loves to come into my craft room and make things. She is very, very clever with her color. She just has a natural knack, has since she was little, hey? She just knows how to work with color and does extremely well with her coloring in too. So I could quite happily sit and do my watercolor painting with her, and she'll do her watercolor painting next to me. I was just doing some pecan pie around that because we do want this sort of vintage grunge look going here. Okay, I'm just going to pop some glue. Oh yeah, this one, because it's on the embossed butterfly, I'm actually going to put my stamping seal on it because it doesn't stick on the embossing.
How about some baking?
Yes.
Leanne's got a specific suggestion there.
What has she got? What? Coral cry cookies. What on earth are coral cry cookies? I have never heard of coral cry cookies. Please tell me what are coral cry cookies. Mom, do you know what coral cry cookies are? Okay.
Yummy to me.
Pressed flower motifs. Mine fell the other day, and so now I've got all these little bits lying around. Okay, so we've got butterflies. So Anne suggested handprints for butterflies, which I love that idea. And we've got insects. I love that idea. Very cool. Look how quickly this card's coming together.
It's magical.
It's magical. And here's our last bit. There we go. Nice smoosh technique. Bit of blending to create your mat if you don't have cardstock. Inked over the butterfly. Okay, let's have a look. Children had a TV program with Cardle Cry. Oh, I remember Cardle Cry and Sardel See a Monster. Yes, but what are Cardle Cry cookies?
Just anything you make while that program's on.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, that's what I'm saying it is.
Right, but that's if you understand Afrikaans. So, I mean, well, mind you, we didn't understand Afrikaans and we watched
Melting
it.
Moments recipe to make miniature statues.
Yes, that's true. That can work too. Excellent. All right, we are done. So let me just bring in my colors.
Well, it's called Stampin' Eat. So you're going to stamp with the kids and you're going to eat with the kids.
This is true. Okay. So we've got, this is where we at with what we used tonight. So I used soft sea foam to stamp my butterfly. I used Lost Lagoon to stamp the background and to do the smooshing. I used Coastal Cabana to ink on the elements of text. Pecan Pie was nowhere. Oh, no, it was. It was to do the blending around the Pecan Pie cardstock. And Secret Sea, I keep wanting to call this Secret Sky. Secret Sea was for the sentiment because it's a dark color, but it's not black, which quite cool. Stamps were the Retired Butterfly Brilliance, which thanks to Ruth, I did stamp surgery too many years ago. Butterfly, Beautiful Butterflies, the big one, which I used last week. And Elements of Text, the big one. And then the You Are Seriously the Best from Textured Notes. Those were my stamp sets. Love the card. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Monica. Yes, I think this would actually look really, really pretty in those browns and pinks, blues. but I thought I'd challenge myself and use green, because I don't use a lot of green, eh? No, we don't. No, that's right. No Stampin' Up stuff in the 80s. That's right. Stampin' Up has only been 36 years now. It's been around 36. It was 35 years last year. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for crafting with us. Next Tuesday evening, we will be with you live, Lord willing. But the Tuesday after that, so in 2 weeks' time, Rich is having reasonably serious surgery on his left ear, the only ear that he has to hear. So if you are inclined to be a praying person, we would appreciate your prayers leading up to that.
Very much.
And I will do my best to have a scheduled video come out instead of the live. All right.
That's 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time. Next week we plan on being back. All right. Thank you, Anne. See you next week. See you, Monica. We'll catch everybody next Tuesday night with another fun project with you. Have a lovely week, everybody.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.